Hey, everybody, it's time for the show. Let's Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Secrets of the Mind of a Man, where I talk about how men think when it comes to dating, relationships, and love. And so glad to have all of you here tonight. I am Kelvin dating and relationship coach. I'm a speaker, author, and this is where we get it in and have the conversation. So welcome in. I encourage you guys to hit that like sign, hit the plus, hit the subscribe button, because we're going to get into some good conversation here tonight. So tonight, you guys, we're talking about the art of connecting with a man. That's what we're talking about tonight. The art of connecting with a man. I say this is a good topic because, you know what? Just like you think of it like an art, like an artist, right? It takes a lot of intricate detail and and check it out. Sometimes when people come up to see art on a wall, they don't always understand it, right? They don't always understand the intricacies of the art, right? They don't understand what the artist had in mind, what they're thinking, all of that sort of thing. And so I think it's a great title, The Art of Connecting with a Man. And I'm going to just drop some good stuff here today. We're going to give it to you, the 5 ways to connect and communicate with the man in your life. So let's get into it. We're going to get right into it. No delay. Let's do it. And I want you guys, while I'm getting into it, I want you to go ahead and type down where you are watching this show from. Let me know where you guys are watching the show from. And as we go along, drop your comments, questions in here. I would actually love for you guys to come onto the YouTube side so I can put your questions in on the chat up on the screen when they come through. So come on through, you guys, and I'll be glad to have you as kind of my co-host for tonight. All right, so let's get it going. So one of the things that you have to understand, and we're talking about the art of connecting with a man, there's a couple things before I even get into the list. One of the things I want to tell you is most men are not the great communicators that a lot of times women are, right? I heard it said that women speak about 20,000 words a day. Men speak about 5,000 words a day, right? Most of the words that men speak are in their heads, in our heads. We have whole conversations in our heads, but we don't always let them come out of our mouths. Why is that? Why don't men communicate everything that's going on in their minds and let it come out of their mouths? Because of some of the things we're going to talk about here tonight, right? One of the things you have to understand about men and communication is men speak on issues or subjects that require speaking about, right? For women, sometimes a woman can get revved up to say the thing that's important, right? For men, we'll think about the point and only talk about the point, right? Have you ever seen a couple and they're talking about maybe an accident happened? A guy is describing, he says, hey, there was an accident today. Get home over dinner. There was an accident today. And the guy's like, well, and lady's like, really? What happened? And my man's like, well, 2 cars collided. And, one car got hit this way and the other car got hit that way. And I think it was this other guy's fault because of the way the accident happened and such and such and such and such, right? And, then he goes on to the next thing. And the woman might be like, hey, well, wait a minute. Where was this? Did anybody get hurt? Did the ambulance show up? Did the fire truck show up? Was the car on fire? was it total damage? Well, did it hold up traffic? Right? And my man's like, uh, yeah, I guess, yeah, sure, right? My man, so often men will just get to the point, and women often want the details of what is going on, and it really is an art. It's an art to understanding and communicating with the man in your life. But listen, if you listen to what I got to say tonight, this is going to help you in your dealing. So let's get to it. Number one on this list is that men are linear. Men think in linear terms, right? Just like I just described. What's the point? Get to the point, right? Men want to know. Okay, if it's 2 plus 2, it's going to be 4. I got that. Let's move on to the next thing, right? But oftentimes women are more like the math teacher, right? The math teacher in algebra and trigonometry, they don't just want the answer. They want to know, how did you get to the answer? What path took you to the answer? I don't just want to know that you know the answer. I want to know how you got to the answer. So men are often will think in linear terms, specific terms, getting to the point, right? So as the art of understanding that, if you want to be able to communicate a little better with the man in your life, get to the point, right? Or you can ask him to tell me about it, right? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about that. He said, man, there was an accident and these two cars, they collided and they were on the side of the highway. Really? Wow. Tell me about that. Tell me more about that. Whatever it may be, just asking for more elaboration. And then he can elaborate, right? Because the first thing that a man is more likely to do is to go towards the thing and tell the detail, not tell the details, but specifically only tell what needs to be told. All right. So you guys, as you guys are watching, go ahead and type down your questions. If you got comments, let me hear your comments on this conversation that we got going on here tonight. I'm loving it already. So let me see if I can make sure I pull up everybody. And we got some comments over here. My man Wesley Hawkins, rude dog. Happy belated birthday to you. Yes, yes, yes. So let's keep it going. And you guys that are watching, go ahead, drop your comments. Let me know where you guys are watching. My man Wesley Hawkins is watching from my hometown, Atlantic City. I'm gonna be back home this weekend. So coming back home for my boy's wedding, my frat brother's wedding. All right, so let's get to it. Number 2. So number 2 is kind of an offshoot of number 1. All right. Number 2 is as you're having the conversation with him. I talked about getting to the point, but get to the point that impacts him. If you want to understand the art of connecting with the man in your life, you have to understand some things. I got a couple things that you need to understand, right? Men are more like fixers, right? We are more like fixers, right? If there's something wrong, we feel a presence of the need to fix it, right? I remember when I had, speaking of my hometown, Atlantic City, I remember when I had a house in a nice little neighborhood, Absecon, right? Absecon, New Jersey. I used to live there, had a nice house there. And when I came home from work at nighttime, right, I hardly ever went straight into the house. We had like a circular driveway around back. It was, you could come in from the street and you can go around the house. It was a corner lot and you could end up on the other side of the street. All right. We froze it for some reason. All right. I think we froze up a little bit there. Okay. So I think it's still going. All right. So look. So I remember specifically. All right. All right. So we're back, you guys. Sorry about that. Had a little uh, computer crashing situation, but listen, nothing stops us. We going forward and we're making it happen. So, yep, we're going forward and making it happen. All right. Okay. All right. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So, you guys. As I was saying, that one of the things that I did when I lived in, we're talking about getting to the point and understanding how men think when it comes to like connecting and communicating, right? Um, and we're talking about duty. So one of the things that I did when I lived in this town back home in New Jersey, right, Absecon, one of the things that I used to do, right, I would come into the house, I would drive in, and I would literally walk around the whole house, the outside of the house, right? I would take a survey of the backyard. I would take a survey. Hello, Akemia. Look, I would take a survey of the backyard. I would observe the pool. I would observe the fence. I would observe the bushes. I would observe everything. And I was walking around the house asking myself the question, what is wrong with this scene? What is missing? What is out of place? Is there something? Is there a fence moved? Was that thing right there yesterday? What has changed? Right? Why? Because I felt responsible for my dwelling, right? And so I had to make sure things was good. I had to make sure things were safe. And my eye was always on that. And so that's one of the things you have to understand about men, and understanding if you're trying to connect with a man, you have to understand that men move in terms of duty, right? One of the things that men take pride in is their duty to keep everything in order, to keep everything safe, right? So if so, understand that one of the things men want to do is to keep you safe and to know what's going on, right? So I told y'all this communication, it is an art. Hey, Bella, my girl, thank you so much for checking in. Look, it's an art and an understanding. So if you want to understand the man in your life, right, you got to understand that he has this idea of making things right. So if you're upset, if you're angry, or if you're sad, if you're disappointed, right? A man will come in and want to make things right. So one of the things you can do, right, as you're trying to communicate and connect with this guy, let him know, look, you don't have to fix it. I'm not telling you this story so you can try and fix something. I'm not telling you this story so you can help me diagnose what the problem is. I'm just sharing what happened and how things are happening. So so letting him know that also lets him kind of be off the hook to say, you know what, I don't have to help him with everything. I don't have to do all of I don't it lets him just know that, okay, I can relax. She's not expecting me to fix it, to be Mr. Fix It. All right. So understand that. Number 3, as you're um as you're understanding the art of connecting with a man, right? Understand that context is everything. Let's say when you're telling your stories, right? If you come home and tell your man, listen, um, you know, Andrea at the job, Andrea, Cindy, Jan, and Marcia, all of them, they all did XYZ, and Marcia was doing this, and Jan was doing that, and Cindy was doing this. And guess what? And Mrs. Brady came home, and all of this stuff happened. A man would be totally lost with all of that, right? Because again, in his mind, he's looking for the fix, right? So if listen, whatever it is, give him the context. If you want to understand how to communicate with the man in your life, give him context. Let him know, hey, okay. So what I'm essentially telling you is kind of join the man in your life, the man's mind. Get involved in the man's mind and what he's thinking, and it actually makes it easier for him to communicate with you. And sometimes for the fellas, we already know. Sometimes you just shut up. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Yeah, yes, they did. You feel me? So that's important. All right. Let me move on. Number 4. Give him grace. If you want to understand the art of communicating with the man in your life, give him grace. Give him space for grace, right? Especially when it comes to emotions, right? Check it out. Men don't all listen. Women have mastered emotions. Y'all been mastering emotions since y'all was 2, 3 years old, right? Masters of emotions. For men, men are not conditioned or taught to master emotions, to even care about emotions, right? Until we end up having to have to care about them with our woman. So understand that a man, you might say to, you might be saying like, hey, Bobby, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, right? I need y'all to hit that share sign. I need y'all to share this out with somebody. You might be talking to the man in your life and you say, listen, Bobby, tell me how you feel. And he says, well, what do you mean how I feel? Tell me how you feel about me. He said, well, I love you. And he's like, is that it? He's like, well, what else is there? What did you want something else? Right. And he is in that place of just not understanding the need to have all this conversation about feelings. Right. And so you have to understand that. Look, men think differently than women. There is a different, and this is art, y'all. It's art. You can't always understand directly how to connect with a man, but I'm telling you, if you listen to what I'm saying tonight, this is going to help you. All right? Give him space for grace when it comes to emotions. Give him the space that he needs to be able to use the words. Listen, sometimes a man doesn't tell you about how much he loves you because he doesn't have the words for it. Right? Sometimes he doesn't have the words. And so he won't necessarily talk about that I love you because X, Y, Z, A, B, C, because that's not really how we communicate. Number five on this list, as we're talking about the art of communicating with a man, communicating and connecting. Number five is never forget to laugh. If you want to connect with a man, right? Find things to enjoy that make you laugh. And I don't think that, I don't think that people really take this as important as I think it is, right? Because there are some couples that go through hell together. But if they can make each other laugh, they can last one more day. They go through tremendous tough times and they just make each other laugh, keep each other laughing. And it's amazing how minuscule the problems can become when you can intentionally find something to laugh about. Look, go down to the comedy store, right? The comedy shop, and watch somebody do stand up on stage. Look out for videos that have something funny that you both can laugh about, right? Share stories, share childhood story, whatever it takes. If you want to connect with a man, laughter raises the emotions and it just magnifies the connected feelings. So I believe that I really believe that it's an art. So what do you have to do if you're going to get good at art? What do you have to do? You have to practice. If you're ever going to get good at the art of understanding, connecting, communicating with the man in your life, you have to practice. Practice these things that I talked about. Practice understanding his linear mind. All right. Practice understanding, getting to the point. Practice laughter. Like, you got to practice all of these points. And then you start to get good at the art. It's like art. And there's only one way to get good at art, and that is to practice. So find ways to practice, find ways to love, find ways to connect. And I'm telling you, it's going to work out great for you. All right. So I got something for you guys. I'll drop it in the chat. I still have some more of these tickets. I have the Finding Love Over the Holidays event. It's now in the digital version, and I will give somebody a free uh, love coach session, one-on-one session with the purchase of this program. So you can get it on Eventbrite. I'll drop it in the chat so that you guys have it. And you can drop in on that whenever you like. All right. Also, if you need a love coach session, you can drop me an email right there. That's the email where you can drop me a session. You can drop me a note there. If there's a topic that needs to be talked about, I'd be glad to maybe consider it for the show. And we would definitely do it that way. So you guys can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And till next time, peace and love. Later, y'all.